Hi everybody, how you doing? Today I'm gonna make a story time video on why I left church and why I left it. So I started going to church with my sister. For the first weeks in church, everyone was so sweet to me. I made a lot of friends. Everybody came to me and talked to me and said, "Oh, I think you should stay. This is a great church. We help people become better in their lives." I don't know if you get in here what I'm saying, but like, if you have been to church or your first time, you know how it is. So they was like, "Oh, this is a church where we help people to get like a better life, better sentimental life, and all that." So my sister and I started going to church more and more, and wait, let me remember. It was this I remember um it was this lady that came to me. Like, this was after I was making friends and stuff. It was like my second or third week at the church, and this lady came to me and she was like, "Oh, you know what? Um, they are youth, they are young and stuff. But let me tell you something. This was what this lady told me. Not because they're in church, it means they're great persons or they're saints or anything like that. You gotta know how to, how to behave and stuff. Like, I know how to behave. I know stuff like that." And she's like, "Oh, you gotta know that. Now you're not. You have to be a better person. You have to, you know, stick with God." I was like, "Yeah, okay." And and then they invite me to go to youth group. I don't know if you know what that is. It's like a group in church where there's a lot of no, not young kids. They have that for teenagers and for preteens also. But I was in the teenage group, and they invited me to go. It was a lot of games and fun. They also talk about God and stuff. Like, it was, basically more about the Bible. And they were like, "Oh, they were being good to me. I have nothing bad to say about that part. In the beginning, everything was all right." And then my sister stopped going to the church. She After she got married, she stopped going to the church. I was going by myself, and I wasn't going a lot to church. Yeah, I wasn't going a lot. My sister was going alone. I mean, I was going alone without my sister. So after my sister stopped going to the church, it was not. She was not going to the church, and I was. I guess I thought. Look, wait. I don't know why my sister wasn't going to the church, but it wasn't because she got married or whatever. Like, I just know that after she got married, she stopped going to the church. I don't know why, but the guy she got married to wasn't from the church. If that's what y'all are wondering. Like, I don't know what was going on in my sister's life. I never asked. She never told me. I thought it was my business that I shouldn't ask, even if she was my sister. But we weren't that close, so I just mind my business and stick to the church. I liked it. When I was going, I liked it. And I kept going and going. And okay, let me tell you the real story what happened. Like, this all happened, but what happened that it got me mad is because after I started getting more going and going to church, and I started making friends and stuff, like we start building that connection better and better. And I was evangelizing people. I was going to donations, you know, to get money, like to like ask for money for to get it to the church, to give it to the church. And there it was a time when they made they were going to Six Flags, and the pastor was like, "Oh, some people are gonna go and some people are not gonna go." And I was like, what does he mean about that? Like, why some people gonna go and others are not going to go? Like, did they do something? Like, that was my question. And I was like, I don't know if I'm going. I don't know if I'm not going. And the pastor immediately said, when I was thinking that, the pastor immediately said this, um, you know if you're going or not. And he said, you're going if you've been sticking to God and if you've been doing what God asked you to. And, if you're helping the church and, like, I mean, evangelizing and stuff like that. Like, if you've been going to the church like every day and stuff. So I was like, I think I'm going. Oh, because I was going to the church every day and I was doing a lot. Like, I was doing a lot. I was doing all I could because I had school and I had my nephew and niece to take care of. So, like, most of the time, I think most of the time I was at the church more than I was home. So, the next day, I think it was on Sunday, the pastor came and he was like, "Oh, um, these people are going." He took all the people that was gonna go. He took and like he separated one group over here that was guys and the other group that was girls, and he said, "Oh, these are the people who are going," and he did not took me to go. So I was like, wait. So with all I was doing, actually, I was working really hard at the I mean, like I was doing like, let me try to explain myself. Like I was evangelizing, like I said, every Sunday, every wait, let me remember. It was Sunday and I think Thursday. Thursdays they would do a group. They would separate people. These people go to this city. These other people go to the other city or other town or whatever. Um, to evangelize. So I was doing that every time, like every week that they did that, I was doing that. Like I was doing like everything that they asked the youths to do. Like I was being like seriously with God. I would come home and pray. I would go to church and pray and whatever, like that. So the pastor choose the people he wanted to go. I think that wasn't fair that he should chose everybody to go because we all work hard. And it's funny how the girl that they chose to go wasn't even doing anything. It was just because she was the daughter of a helper at church. I just think it's because of that. I don't know. But she wasn't even doing anything. She would go to church whenever she wants to. And I think one time I heard her mother saying that she was being a bad girl, she wasn't listening to her or whatever, but they chose her to go. And I'm not jealous of that. I really didn't care, but I was just thinking that it was, um, I mean, it was selfish for him to not to choose me and whatever. I just let it go and I just didn't care about it. I said, you know what, Six Flags isn't a big deal. Going to Six Flags isn't a big deal. Going or not, I really don't care about it. And I was like a little upset because I think it wasn't fair. Like I still think it wasn't fair. Like after that, after I joined the youth group, I felt that people was mistreating me. They weren't treating me right. Um, like I don't know if I said this or I skipped this part, but my sister was the only one who used to put her money at the church. I wasn't putting my money because I wasn't working at that time. I was living with my sister, and I just came from my country, and I didn't know a lot of English. Actually, I was learning, but I knew a lot. I knew how to speak with people, like basic stuff. And yeah, after after I was in the youth group, like a lot of stuff start happening. Um, I felt like they weren't treating me right. Like they they had their own people. Like they stick with. Like no matter what, even if you were. like going to the church a lot and stuff. They had their people that they were friend with, that they were put to go somewhere or to do stuff, or in a position or something, in a better position they wanted to. I don't know, but I just guess that's what it is. But I think that leaving the church was better because a lot of stuff was going on. Um, I skipped this part, but I'm gonna say it now. After my sister left the church, um, people like they offer me a ride. People in the church, like people that I knew, they was like, um, after your sister stopped coming into the church, like you haven't been the church much. I was like, no, I was going to the church. Um, but I wasn't going every day, but I was going like every week. Like, let me tell you something. I had stuff to do. I couldn't go to, I could, like, they wanted people to stay in church like 24/7. Like, I couldn't do that. Like, I had my life out of church. I had stuff to do. Like I said, I had my needs and stuff to take care of, and also problems at home. Like, I had me to take care of too. So they offer me a ride. It's like, oh, I can take you home and this and that, and take like in I can take you to church and take you back home, the way you want it, like when you want to, like just call me. I was like, okay, no problem with that. And I remember was one time I told a lady to pick me up, and she was like, I don't have a car. I was like, okay. First of all, you were the one who offered me a ride, and now you telling me you don't have a car. Like, this was how people was treating me at the church. They were treating me badly, and I felt like they had two faces with me. Like, I'm just being weird with y'all. Like, even if you're watching, like, you know who you are. People from church, like from the church I was. Like, I don't care if you're saying, oh, she's lying, this and that. Like, I knew what was going on. I knew, like, I saw the things, you know? So, move on. Yeah, so after, like, people offer me rides and stuff, um, like most of the people, they stopped giving me rides. I don't know why, but like in the beginning when they were giving me rides, they were like, oh, they wanted to meet me and stuff. They were like being so nice, and like and asking for my backgrounds, like where I came from, like my past, everything. Like, I told them, I feel like I didn't feel bad to say anything to them. Like, I'm a person like easygoing, like I make friends easily and stuff. I don't know. And so they were talking to me, like we became friends, and but I don't know, like I think that church people were selfish. Like, in that church, if like if you have a dress or something that they think is cute, or they think that their clothes is better than yours, they will talk about that. They'll be, um, that dress, this and that. Like, when I was going to church, like people in church used to tell me, that dress is too short. This and that. Oh, it's not appropriate for church. Oh, you shouldn't be wearing pants on Sunday. You should wear um, I mean, you should wear just dress. Like, excuse me, it's my clothes. I can do whatever I want to. You don't buy me clothes. Like, I hate when people do that, even if it's church. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, a lot of things been going on. I just decided to stay home. Um, and again, like, if you're going places, don't matter where you're going, even if it's church, you don't feel comfortable in there, you feel like people is mistreating you, like, don't go. It's not, I don't think you should be going there. It's not worth it. But like I said, I always been faithful. I always believe in God. Even at home, I always pray. I read my Bible at home. I still believe in God in the same way. I believe God haven't left me and never will. And yeah, so whatever people did to me, I forgive them. I don't care about it anymore. But I think that they were start to mistreating me because I wasn't putting any money at the church. Like I said, I don't work. I didn't offer my money to put in, whatever. I don't know. That's basically the story. I left church because people started mistreating me at the church, and it was like the people who were mistreating me was the people in the church, like the helpers and stuff like that. I was like, I'm not dealing with this. I just can't. Even if it's a church and stuff. And then after I stopped going, my sister, she didn't got mad over it or anything. She was just like, whatever. She wasn't going either. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. This is all I got. Story time why I left church. Like it, subscribe, and comment below. Bye. Have a nice day.